Thank you, sir. Thank you, Admiral. You know, it gives me great confidence in our future when American institutions like the Department of Defense and our Navy can produce leaders like you and families like yours. And I want to thank you for stepping up again. You have my full support for this nomination. I hope you get it soon and get out there and do what you know how to do. I want to talk about two things very quickly. When you and I visited in Norfolk on my way out to visit the USS Truman, you made probably the greatest quote of any individual since I've been in the United States Senate. Now, I'm going to give you full opportunity to deny this quote today, but I remember this very well. You said, give me a boomer, an Air Force command post, or an air command post, a president, and I guarantee you we will never say, I surrender. Today, Secretary Spencer has assured us that the Columbia class is the top priority procurement item in the U.S. Navy. We have a president, and I want to talk about the air command post. First of all, you know, I've been aboard the NAOC, the E-4B. They were gracious enough to take me up and demonstrate its capabilities and so forth. I understand that there's a neat program that we're looking to update several different aircraft, including the C-32A and the E-6B. The Navy has the Airborne Ops Center. If you're confirmed, tell us how important this is and what are your thoughts regarding the updating of particularly the E-4B, since it's very long in the tooth.
Senator, one, I thank you for your interest in this vital segment of nuclear command and control, the airborne piece. I have over 160 hours of mission crew time in the airborne command post, the Navy element of that, and it's absolutely critical. And this is our ability to provide command and control no matter what threat faces the nation. So you're quite correct. There's analysis of alternatives going on to determine how to recapitalize that. The capacity may have to be adjusted based on the threat. It is worth remembering we used to operate the Looking Glass aircraft, which was a much larger aircraft, up airborne 24/7 based on the threat environment that we have. But, Senator, I'd also commit to you the goal is survivability. Airborne command posts provide that survivability today. It is important for us to look to see, is that still the best way to provide that survivability in the future? And the NC3 Center is on a trajectory to go answer that question.
Thank you, sir. I'd love to have a deeper conversation in a classified environment about that, to be comforted about that. Thank you. I want to talk about the missile development that China's been under over the last 30 years, really, and the fact that many people in the Navy say that we are clearly outsticked. That's their term today. In early August, the United States formally withdrew from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. We've talked enough about that today. I'm not going to go there, but I want to talk about what China's been doing in those 32 years to where now they've developed the foremost conventional missile force in the world with ranges from 500 to 5,500 kilometers, as I understand it. Admiral Harris, in 2017, testified when he was then commander of PACOM, and I quote, Beijing controls the largest, most diverse missile force in the world with an inventory of more than 2,000 ballistic and cruise missiles. And 95% of those, according to Admiral Harris, violated the INF Treaty, which implies that we obviously don't have that capability since we complied with the INF. Now unshackled from the INF, what are your thoughts and what can and should the U.S. do to level this playing field?
Senator, one, you are quite correct on the analysis of the situation in the Pacific. And now that we are not under the INF Treaty, I think it is important to us to accelerate our research and development into competing systems. And also, as your submarine force commander, I would offer that the submarines have an ability to counter that. And that's also an important capability to make sure that Admiral Davidson and Indo-PACOM have those capabilities to address that threat.
One last question. I'm almost out of time. The Navy was gracious enough to expose me to their FONOP capability in the South China Sea, and I participated in one with a great crew out there. What are your thoughts on the importance of the FONOP efforts out there and the frequency in which we're doing those, and are those a continuing necessary part of the deterrent strategy vis-a-vis our friends in China?
Senator, they are. As you well know, the freedom of navigation operations have been going on for many, many decades, and it is a part of the way the United States asserts freedom of the seas in compliance with international norms, even more important today given the actions that China is taking in the South China Sea.
Well, thank you, sir, for being willing to do this. Thank you for your career and your service. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.